how she could get out of this situation. She didn't dare go for the tranquilizer now. She had no way to alert anyone. With the holidays approaching, the team only had a skeleton crew working this weekend. She was on her own, unless someone from the RMKU building heard the dogs barking. That would teach her not to work so late again. "What do you want?" she asked, thinking if she could get him talking, she'd be able to distract him. "I need a doctor. You available?" He pushed the gun tighter against her ribs. "Yes." "Good answer." "But you might have noticed, I treat animals, not humans." Sometimes humans, however, did act like animals, worse than animals. Shoving her forward while he still held her, he said, "Get me to an exam room. I've been stabbed." "Okay," she pointed ahead. "Next to the kennel room." He heaved a hot breath that seared her skin. "Can you make those dogs shut up?" "No, they have a high sense of smell, and they've picked up your scent." Or one of his many scents, none too pleasant. They'd also picked up on his anxiety, his panic, his desperation. "I know how to handle that." He pointed the gun toward the kennel room. "No," she said. "You will not hurt those animals. I'll do whatever you need, but please don't do anything to the canines." He grunted while she studied the hand on her arm. A tattoo or stamp of some kind covered his left forearm. A circle with swirls merging together, topped with the letters MSA. She had yet to see his face. "Okay then," he said, his voice husky with pain. "You do as I say, and I'll leave the puppy dogs alone. Deal?" "Deal." She'd get him on a table in the one exam room that could be seen from the hallway door, and check his wound, then find a way to shoot him up with the tranquilizer hidden in her pocket. Because she had a feeling that once she'd stitched him up, he might kill her anyway. She'd seen his tattoo. K-9 Officer Gavin Walker and his all-purpose Malinois coda made the rounds of the RMKU headquarters perimeter, mainly to get some fresh air and exercise. Located next to the training facility on the outskirts of Denver, the RMKU building wasn't fancy, but it held a fluid mobile unit. The team assisted the FBI with difficult cases across the Rocky Mountain region, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Colorado, and New Mexico. Gavin had transferred here a few months ago from the New Mexico State Police K-9 unit, thanks to his buddy and the Rocky Mountain unit's leader, Sergeant Tyson Wilkes. Gavin liked the quiet of being the lone officer on duty tonight. With snow covering the outer fringes of the parking lot and outbuildings, he felt cocooned and at peace. Rare for him to feel that way. He'd come to the team late, and while he'd had lots of experience in New Mexico, and he'd also served as an Army Ranger with Tyson, he was still one of the new members on the team, a probie. That meant he got holiday duty, but he'd readily agreed. Gavin had no family here, and his parents were on a trip to Europe they'd been planning for years. He'd sent them a nice check to help cover the expenses. "I'll see you when you get home in January, and we can celebrate Christmas then," he told his mom. "Go and have fun. I'll hang with my friends here." He'd had plenty of invitations for Christmas dinner, so he didn't feel so bad. And he'd planned a couple of hiking trips, something he'd come to love about living in the Rockies. The seasoned team members all needed a break anyway, after dealing with several tough ongoing cases for most of this year. "Right, Coda? We'll be fine." His constant companion let out a soft woof of approval. They walked the perimeter of the big open parking lot, then moved toward the parking garage off to the side. Pretty much empty now. But Gavin spotted one car still there. Doc Sidney Jones. The veterinarian seemed to always work late. She loved the canines and treated each one with respect and tough love. Tough described her, too. With short brown hair that lifted in waves against her chin and forehead, she had a gamine look, but her deep brown eyes gave away nothing. She seemed to like animals more than humans. Quiet, to the point and intriguing. She had her own practice, but she spent a lot of time here, too.